What does the scouter say about his power level? It's over 9,000!
Hello everyone, welcome to episode number 12 of Musings of a Guild Leader. My name is Senda, it's also Joost. It sort of changes around a little bit, but I've been away for a couple of weeks. I'm back. Time for updates. Let's hop right in and start with the fact that it's over 9,000. Both Ayissa and Minx, two persons from our guild who are basically racing for the top spot in the amount of achievement points they have, they both got over 9,000. Well done, you two. Ayissa actually beat Minx to it, if I'm led to believe by sheer minutes. But yeah, they both got it. We got two persons in the guild with over 9,000 achievement points. Ridiculous. You guys are awesome. Keep it up. And there's tons of other stuff that's been going on while I have been away, which is all very, very interesting. So, let's jump right into what actually happened. First of all, Guild Achievement Nights are really taking off. Every single Saturday evening, Fired Up and Minx, they host a group. They just get everyone in and say, well, we're going to do Guild Achievements. So, Guild Dungeon Runs, Guild Raids, work on people's professions or whatever. There's tons of achievements out there that you can do for your guild, and they just send people off in pairs and groups and everything to go sort them out. They had two official raiding nights now, two official event nights, and they gathered, I think it was about roughly in the neighborhood of 30 achievements altogether sorted, including stuff like classic dungeon hero, stuff like that. Just tons of stuff that you do as groups, and it's awesome, and people are having a great time doing it. They're all on Mumble, all talking to each other, just having a laugh, enjoying themselves, which is awesome. I really like that. Tons of stuff flowing in there. It's really nice because it binds our guild together, and it shows to people outside the guild as well, look at what we're doing, we're awesome. And I like that as well, especially when I'm not around. Raids as well. We've had our first official raiding night. Merilith and Sven selected a group of people. They went into Blackwing Descent, managed to down the first two bosses in there. So that's the Omnitron Defense System and Magma. Well done, guys. Pretty good job. Really, really good. A while ago, we also actually killed Argoloth, which is the PvP boss in Tal Barad, which is pretty much like the old Winter Grasp guy. First one, kind of a hard encounter actually. Has an enrage timer, so you have to have your DPS putting out a specific amount of DPS. I think I actually talked about this in the previous episode. But we got a guild group to that at some point, and they actually downed him as well. So official tally is now at 3 downed raid bosses. Woohoo! And yeah, on the PvP front, not a lot of stuff is actually happening as of yet. Rob is still ironing out the kinks in his plans to do a PvP bootcamp. But yeah, that's going to take off. I think it's actually next week that we're going to see the first PvP bootcamp, but I'm not entirely sure. And other than that, all of this stuff has been rolling along while I have been away, which is interesting as well. I distinctly remember having the guild meeting in between, like I was away for about 2 weeks. I've now been away for 3 weeks, so about a week or a week and a half ago we had a guild meeting where actually more time ago, we can cut this bit out, time, you know how that works, but we had a guild meeting where I stepped up and said, look guys, I have been away for quite some time now. I can understand that you guys really want Guild Leader to be there all the time, because if anything, I've always been the voice saying a Guild Master should always be around. Right? The more you're around, the more you're on top of things, and you're able to see how stuff is rolling along, and you're able to intervene where needed, and you can just properly assess situations. And I'm basically messing up my own rule at that point because I'm not around. I'm sure I'm busy with exams and everything. I can't really be online. People understand that, but still, it made me feel a little uncomfortable about it because I've always been that voice saying that I can't really go around breaking my own rules. So I brought up the subject and said, look, I completely understand if you guys want a different person in charge of the guild while I'm away. You know, have like a temporary guild master, or hell, have someone take it over, see how they do. And I basically got shouted down for that, and told straight up to my face, no, everything's fine, you've delegated everything, there's nothing really that you're doing apart from recruitment, which you don't have to be online for, because it's all on the forum. So you go ahead, you do your exams, get back when you get time, and make sure you pass your exams and everything, and we'll keep the guild rolling along. And my trusty officer cadre, including all the veterans, have, and I'm really, really proud of you guys. You guys are amazing. Well done. I love you guys. They've kept everything going. I mean, they're doing the achievement nights, they're doing the raids, they're setting up events, they're working on the PvP thing, they're making schedules, they're talking to people, and everything's being sorted while I'm not there. So that's great. I mean, that means even though I'm away, I can still talk to them, maintain a bit of oversight and everything. So yeah, that was an interesting learning point. It means I can actually have small breaks. I mean, other people can have small breaks as well, obviously, but I can actually be away for like a week or two without stuff actually falling apart. That's useful to know. That means I can actually take a holiday if I ever feel like it. But yeah, I still have to, you know, maintain a proper oversight, obviously. And then other stuff that's been happening at the guild meeting. We've had a few changes in the ranks. Over the course of time, a few people have become more active, other people have become less active, and as a consequence, some of my veterans and officers have elected to step down and others have stepped up, basically. Now, to start with the first person, Chimera, who does our website, or should I say used to do our website, had to step down because of time constraint issues. He had too much stuff going on in real life. He had to step down and not worry about that, so he could focus his attention on solving his immediate problems instead of dabbling on with a website, which shouldn't be his priority. It never should be. Real life comes first, always. So he stepped down very graciously, and I managed to get Sarah to take over the website. She's now actually working on a completely new website, revamping the entire thing. We're moving away from our current website, which is hosted on Guild Portal, and we're moving to, I think it is a WordPress format, which basically means Sarah's hosting it herself. She has web space, a server and everything. She is going to make an entire website out of scratch, hosting it up and maintaining it for us, which is awesome. And of course, Jim is still going to be there in the background, feeding her ideas and saying I do that way and everything, and making sure his opinion comes across as well, because he has a little bit of experience, obviously. So yeah, that's a change. Then we have Gorgonite, who you might remember from the ICC runs at the end of Wrath of Lich King. He stepped up and said, look, I want to do some raids, I want to get some raid leader experience and do some stuff. And we sat down with him and said, like, well, this might be a good idea, go ahead, try it. He had quite some success downing the Lich King for quite a few people, which was awesome, well done. Unfortunately, now he's actually moved in with his girlfriend. I shouldn't say unfortunately here, because then that would be a bad thing. No, Gorg, that's a good thing. Congratulations on moving in with your girlfriend, I think it's awesome. Unfortunately, it means he has less time to do stuff. So he had to step down from his position as a veteran because he couldn't actually be around sorting stuff. And that's fine, because stuff like this happens. I mean, positions within a company change all the time. It's fine for stuff like that to happen. So Gorgonite steps down. Gorgonite is now a member again. He's still online, he's still doing stuff left and right, he's going to join up for raids and everything, but he just simply doesn't have the time to organize stuff. So yeah, fine. I demote him back to a member and everything's sorted out again. And then the last big change is Meredith. Strangely enough, Meredith basically running into the same issues that both Chim and Gorg are. Too much stuff going on in real life. The man is about to graduate his study, he has a ton of stuff to do, and he just really needs to focus his attention on getting that done. As a consequence, he doesn't have the amount of time required to actively sort out everything. He's online a lot, he's doing tons of stuff, he's talking to people, but he's just not really with the amount of time he needs to properly sort stuff out on the forum and poke everyone and everything. So we had someone else step up. Meredith is now back to being a veteran, and Svintilla who I talked about the last episode, who was going to try out raid leading, is actually, he stepped up, he took over Merilith's spot as the raiding officer, which effectively means that even though Merilith is leading raids and Svintilla both are leading raids, Svintilla is the guy that makes the schedule. He is sort of in charge. He is the voice of the raiding team. I mean, effectively speaking, both of them are sort of sorting it out together, but Svintilla is the guy that actually types it all up, makes a forum post saying you need to have this amount of gear to join, you have to sign up in that fashion, oh, and here's your sign up thread for that raid. That's what Svintilla does as well, basically. So yeah, he took over that position, and this has been an interesting point as well, because I had to promote a few people and I had to demote, especially demote a few people. And I've seen it happen in previous guilds that the rank you have within a guild is sort of a status symbol, where you would have people getting like I don't know, an officer rank based purely on the fact that people appreciate their input on stuff. So they make them an officer to show, like, you know, when I have something I want to discuss or I'm not entirely certain about stuff, I call on persons like this guy or this girl to give me an opinion so I can, you know, sort of mirror their image to my own and see where I'm going with this. And that's fine, but that's not how I do it. In my guild, ranks are strictly there for people to understand where their place is within the guild. I have a very strict sort of pyramid structure within my guild, with me being the guild master, and then I have like a cadre of officers below that sorting stuff for me. Below that there's a bunch of veterans that basically help out the officers doing their stuff, and below that is the member base, and then below that is initiates, but you know, they go into member eventually, so that's basically one big block. And that's how it works. So someone who is not actually doing the stuff that is required of a veteran or an officer shouldn't ever be an officer or a veteran within my guild. And that's how it should be. And people don't actually have to feel bad about that. I've seen drama being had over this, people being demoted down to something because they're not doing anything. And then them going like, what? But I did so much effort, I put all this time in, why can't I still be? And it's like, well, you can't have that rank because you're not having the responsibility at the same time. You're not doing anything, so why should you have that rank? It's not a status symbol within my guild. And I'm curious to find out how other people do this. If I'm alone in this, or if there are more people out there that actually refuse to view a rank within the guild as a status symbol. I'm curious about that, so leave some comments down there so I know what you guys think. Yeah, stuff to look forward to, because we're coming up on the end already of my my 15 minutes that I have allowance. Stuff to look forward to. We're gonna have another meeting soon within the guild. We're gonna have a new website. That's gonna be really interesting. I'm gonna have a big talk about that in a few issues down the road. Upcoming PvP bootcamps. Rob is ironing out the details at the moment, but tons of people in the guild are really looking forward to PvP bootcamps, learning how it goes, and from that point on, Rob can build a team of people that actually are vaguely competent at PvP, and then he can move into rated battlegrounds. He kind of has to go through the learning process first, and then he can do the rated battleground stuff. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is to say about all of that right now. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm again apologize for not having musings up for the past 2 or 3 weeks. From now on, they will be on again every single week. Next week, again, tons of updates, and we'll see, maybe we're down a few more raid bosses. See you next week, guys.